everybody. Welcome to The Better Life with Dr. Pinkston. I'm Dr. Marianne Pinkston, and as always, I am here with Ray Solano from Pdlabs up in Cedar Park, Texas, my big partner up there. Hi, Ray. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine on this Cyber Monday.
Yes, it is Cyber Monday, isn't it? All right.
It is.
I got to go buy something. I don't know what, but I got to find something to buy. So I know we are coming up on the holiday season. Speaking of Cyber Monday, it is holiday season. So you had a great idea here, that 9 steps to surviving the holiday season. Sounds wonderful to me. Name them off. What are we doing to survive?
Well, I think the most important thing is to get some simple ones started.
Yeah.
And I think one of the first steps is the things that are the easiest. Okay.
Right.
With people this time of year, you're not. This is so simple. You're just going to laugh. They always get dehydrated.
Right.
And they all come up with dry skin because they're inside a little bit more, and there may be some heat that's going on.
Okay.
And they forget to drink water. And so, this is the most important thing, as we have to have the correct amount of hydration to be the first step to strengthen your immune system.
Right.
It's simple. They have to hydrate.
Yes.
So that was getting a habit of drinking a good 8 ounces of water first thing when you wake up in the morning.
Absolutely.
That's easy. I think everybody can go, well, I can do that. You'd be surprised.
Right.
It's not talking about a Diet Coke. We're not talking about an iced tea.
Coffee.
We're talking about water.
Right.
So I think it's a good one.
Very good.
All right. The second step is do some sort of movement every day now, between now and the holiday season. That could be some first morning stretches. That would be go outside and walk around the house, go to walk the dog or whatever, first thing in the morning for 10 minutes. How's that?
I love it. Yeah.
10 minutes
Just
of
10
something.
minutes. Yeah.
Of something first thing in the morning. Okay. So we're up to number 2. Then we're going to plan putting fuel in your engine to support the tremendous amount of stress that everybody's going to endure over the next 5 weeks.
Yep.
You look at your body as a race car. And so the fuel that you put in is so critical. So we're going to have to, when we break fast, okay, that's what we're doing, is we're breaking fast. It's important to have the proper amount of protein in the morning.
Right.
Okay. This is not your breakfast tacos. Well,
Not
actually,
your
not breakfast tacos. It's not the sweet Pop-Tarts. That's the word I was looking for. Not the Pop-Tarts, not the cookies, and not the pies that left over from Thanksgiving.
Right. Breakfast cereal.
We're going to get some protein sources that you like, that are non-inflammatory. And it's a good protein shake. We like the Protinium protein shake. Get yourself a medical food shake. Sometimes it can be some protein or some leftover from dinner. Okay.
You guys have a great shake too, Ray. You guys offer a great shake. So I want people to really can go to your website.
And so start out with a good protein source breakfast, okay? And it's not, and low sugar, high protein, first thing in the morning. That's a good start. And then also take a look at your fiber that you have on a daily basis, so that protein shake or the food that you have has a good source of fiber. And sometimes we overlook some of the simple foods that have correct amount of fiber that you have on a daily basis. So we're looking at getting all the infrastructure of your body healthy enough to endure the tremendous stress and abuse that you're going to incur. Does that sound good?
Yes, absolutely.
We are abusing ourselves over the next 5 weeks. And the next step is, you know what? Give yourself permission to go to bed at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Okay? Just think about it, because you will cheat and you'll do it at 11.
Right.
But give yourself permission, because a lot of people go, well, it's too early to go to bed, because you know what? It's much better to try to get that sleep earlier, when your body starts to make melatonin at 10 o'clock.
Right.
When the sun goes down, your body's making melatonin. And when it gets darker, so your body, you're used to resting when your clock says rest.
Right.
So get used to listening to your body go, it's time to rest. Now you can start up earlier in the morning if you want. Okay.
Right.
But it's get that clock corrected.
Yes.
The things that you wanted to do in the evening, you probably can do more productive first thing in the morning.
Absolutely.
So that's a simple step. And then also, the other thing that we have to really look at is realize the amount of stress that you go through on a daily basis. And the other thing we found that people forget to do is breathe. It's in once an hour, you're going to go through a box breathing method. Right. And so it's inhale for 10 seconds. I'll hold it for a couple of seconds and then release. And do that I say a couple times a day, but you'll notice the research has shown it actually decreases blood pressure. Okay? Yes. So if you have one of those fancy watches and you see your blood pressure increasing, realize that a couple things: you may not have been drinking enough water, or you haven't been breathing.
Right, exactly. Oxygen's good. No, really, that's a form of meditation, really, the box breathing. And it really does slow down our sympathetic system, which is what drives high blood pressure and stress and high heart rate and all those factors that help. So that box breathing really helps to eliminate that if you do it periodically over the day. Great point. Love it.
Okay. Did I lose anybody, you think? Did I make it really difficult so far?
No, absolutely not. It's perfect. Nope, I'm with you. I'm there.
In review, right? We told people to drink water. We told people to breathe. We told people to move. And we told people to eat the right food. So I think we're well on our way. What do you think?
Absolutely. Continue on.
All right. And so the next step is the hardest thing, okay? Is this time of year, we drink more alcohol than we do the first 6 months. Oh, actually, usually the months before, because the surveys say that people want to reduce their stress by more alcohol. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately,
self-medicating.
That's right. And it may work transitory for a short period of time, but unfortunately, if you haven't done all the other steps, it makes it worse. Right. One thing that we cannot do this time of year is get sick. The risk of viruses, there are super flu viruses that are out there, whatever you want to call it, are out there. And if our defense mechanisms are down, we could come down with an illness that can knock you out for a week. Right. So what we find is alcohol and usually sugary drinks will diminish your immune system. You don't want to do anything that's going to diminish your immune system. One, you don't sleep well. Two, you reduce your ability for your glutathione levels in your liver, because it has to take on an additional stressor. Right. So look at it as a stressor, not as a relaxer.
A stressor, not a de-stressor.
That's right.
True. I tell people to drink a glass of water in between. They'll have a drink and then drink a glass of water,
and they'll get so full and
right?
they will stop. So, you have to be social, but unfortunately, one sometimes leads to six. And then you get permission, well, it's a holiday. I've heard this over and over in consultation. Well, it's the holiday. Well, unfortunately, we've never had holidays that had this many viruses that are really serious.
It's true.
Unfortunately, we're coming off a couple of years of diminished immunity from our population.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the sicker get sicker easier. And that's why you have to really, really take a good step.
Very true.
Now, the other thing that I want people to think about is, yes, they're going to take some supplements that are going to be that not going to cause interference with any other drugs, not going to cause an interference with any other therapies. They're the ones that are simple, the ones that are backed by the best clinical studies, and the ones that come up on the list are very simple ones. Additional vitamin D3.
Absolutely.
Take an additional, I say, 5 to 10,000 units of vitamin D3 a day daily, because we're inside, we're having less sunshine, and we find that the people with the lowest vitamin D3 levels are most susceptible to viruses.
Right.
Yes, we want to increase their zinc levels. There's a number of different electrolyte packets that you can get that have the correct amount of zinc. We like HistoShield, is that a product that we came up with that helps with allergy symptoms, that has zinc in it. We don't want to overdo the zinc because people get a copper deficiency, but we want to get our zinc levels to where they are normalized. Okay, so the simple minerals, we got vitamin D3 and zinc and magnesium and vitamin C. And then you got your checklist, vitamin C, magnesium, and zinc. And I think that you probably, or make yourself bulletproof. That's what we want to do. Because it's no fun this holiday season if you're ill.
Right.
And, there's, you can time it between now, Thanksgiving, and the next 2 weeks is when the peak of absentee from work and school is.
Right.
A couple of years ago, half the schools in the country closed down because, well, actually before that, would always close down because of a flu. So this year may not be any different. We're seeing the spike already. Do what everybody has a normal routine. I like adding probiotics, 50 billion units every day between now and the end of the year to build up your good bacteria in your gut area. So we went from drinking water to replenishing your gut. Everything we centered on your GI tract, the things that you ingest. So I think this is a good start. What do you think?
I love it. Absolutely. I really love strengthening the gut and the microbiome. For those of you who have followed us at all, you know that your intestine is the source, a huge source of your immune system and your immune system power and prevention. And so building up your gut, getting the bacteria that are there balanced and correct, trying to stay away from antibiotics. We have mostly viruses out there. We really don't have a lot of bacterial, illnesses any longer with all the vaccines and things. But this is the virus population that is out there is huge. And our intestine is a large factor in that and getting that balance. So thank you for bringing that up. Nice.
So I think that's my 9 steps.
Did we count 9? I hope.
I think I did. Yeah, I did.
Absolutely. That's a great list.
Anybody that thinks I missed a step, call us. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. No, I know you have a lot of these great things available. I'm always so glad you're not a big marketer. You don't, try to throw this in people's faces. Buy my stuff because I'm, this is the only stuff that's out there. But you do have a lot of great things. So where can people find you and find a lot of this information and supplements?
Our website is a tremendous amount of education. Yeah. It's pdlabsrx.com, pdlabsrx.com, and we're moving into our new facility this week. You're all welcome to come and join us here in Cedar Park. But check out our website, pdlabsrx.com, and our phone number is 512-219-0724. And we always answer the phone and give you some free tips.
Absolutely. It's a great pharmacy up there. You guys do a lot of hard work, and congratulations on your new facility.
Well, we call it a center of excellence that nowhere in Central Texas.
Absolutely.
That we have all these services under one roof.
Absolutely.
And it's we're populating Jim LaValle's dream of My Performance Health out front of our facility that links our clinic and our pharmacy, and your patients and with your supervision is to be able to have patients be able to have access
Absolutely.
to health care on a timely fashion. So we don't want people to be without medical services. We make it convenient. The consumerism of healthcare is continuing, and
Absolutely.
we're right on that same track to give people access to the proper healthcare immediately.
Right. Consumerization has lost people. It is becoming dangerous as far as, kind of algorithm treatments. Everybody's the same thing. Everybody, we just stamp and date everything and walk you through like cattle. That is a trend that is very disturbing. And so you guys do things very differently. Love working with Jim LaValle and his knowledge base, which is, if I could borrow his brain for a day, and it wouldn't be enough. I need 2 or 3 days. But love working with you guys and appreciate everything.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
We got a team of clinical pharmacists that are trained in this area of medicine, working in concert with practitioners such as yourself that are trained in integrative medicine to get to the root cause of why people are getting ill, not just lathering more drugs and antibiotics and say, see you in a couple of days and cause more problems.
Right.
We're going to have some common sense approaches to our healthcare. And I think I've just listed some of the most common sense things people can do because
Absolutely.
We
and all
do
free.
This every year.
Yeah, and all free too, which is wonderful because I know everybody's spending all their money on Christmas presents now and the holidays. So those are great tips. And so you can find a lot of our previous shows and information if you go to my site at drpbetterlife.com. Please go take a look. And Ray and I do this every couple of weeks, once a month, and have a lot of great information. I've been doing it for almost 2 years now, Ray. Isn't that crazy?
That's right.
A little over, actually. So,
you're going to have some great guests on that our men's health division that we are launching. That is really giving men some solutions to healthcare that they've never seen before. We're just not going to be lathering on hormones, and there's more to men's health and erectile dysfunction, believe me.
Absolutely.
So we are definitely paying attention. Patients are asking for it. So we got a new division, our men's health division, that you're going to help us kick off. So
we will talk about that on the flip side here when we take a short break. Let's talk a little bit about that. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Ray Solano with your Healthy Choices Minute, sponsored by Prescription Dispensing Labs. New research has concluded that implementing dietary changes could prevent gut inflammatory processes involved in some chronic diseases. Modulation of your gut microbes through diets enriched with vegetables, legumes, grains, nuts, and a higher intake of plant over animal foods has a potential to prevent intestinal inflammatory conditions at the core of many chronic diseases. In short, the foods we eat and our dietary patterns have a major influence on our immune system that can cause many conditions we are suffering from today. Solution: try our OptiMeal shake. Our team has developed the best tasting, healthiest shake you've ever experienced to control blood sugar and to improve your gut. Start your day today with a healthy choice. Call us today at 888-909-0110 for a free sample of the OptiMeal shake. 888-909-0110. Remember, you have a choice in healthcare.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dr. Marianne Pinkston here with Ray Solano from Pdlabs Pharmacy, compounding pharmacy up in Cedar Park, Texas. We've been partnering together for more than 2 years, really, just on the podcast for over 2 years now. I've been around Ray for a long time. Love having you on. So we mentioned before the break, you guys are expanding into men's health. What have you got going on up there?
Well, we realized that we spent a lot of time on women's health and women's hormone replacement therapy for many years, but men's health really hasn't been able to come up with a whole person approach to men's health. And I think this is what we've assembled a group of professionals now, and we've had a team. We're opening up a new men's health center in San Antonio. And we're going to spend time on some common sense approaches that we have seen. I just went to a very large urology conference, sexual health, men's health awareness in San Diego, and came across with some very interesting observations. It seems to be a dominant theme that it's more than just hormones, that we have to really look at men's overall health as they realize that many of the root causes that we see are this trends toward chronic obesity and some of the health trends of high blood pressure, looking at chronic blood sugar levels, not just type 2 and type 1, but prediabetes.
Yes.
And all these things occur. And then, unfortunately, then it all ends up as erectile dysfunction and hormone disruption. But you know what? It started a long time ago. So I think this is kind of this men's health initiative that we're putting together to get people to realize that they really have to pay attention to this, because it's not inevitable that you're going to get a prostate issue. It's not inevitable that you don't sleep through the night, or that you're going to gain 20 pounds. And, we have to stop this, these benchmarks that I'm just getting old. We see a lot of 80-year-olds and 70-year-olds that are bench pressing 200-300 pounds, and it's kind of the envy of all of us. And this is where Jim Laval and the Laval Performance Health Group that we have here in Austin have really looked at men's health as you could be much better in your 60s than you are now. And so we practice what we preach, and Jim does as well. And we're going to use those principles in our men's health group. And you stay tuned on our website, Pdlabsrx.com. We'll give you much more common sense approaches to this initiative.
That's great. And yes, Jim does preach that, and he does practice what he preaches. He's wonderful.
He does.
We're going to have Jim on. We're going to get Jim on.
We're going to get Jim on.
We're going to get Jim on. We're going to talk a lot more about it. I'm glad that you focused a little bit on insulin resistance. Everybody is diabetes prevention, diabetes. Insulin resistance is the danger. That's insulin resistance, and then there's pre-diabetes. I feel there are stages to that, and diabetes is just an end stage. That's when it's almost too late in a way. So we really want to start focusing on things, like you say, a long time ago and long before that. I'm glad you brought that up. But here we are, we're getting close to the end of time. Anything else that you want to add on with your 9 steps in men's health today? It's a good review.
Well, people that are in Texas will see the dreaded cedar coming up.
Oh my gosh, here we are. It's already here.
So don't forget, start now. Get that histamine levels low.
Yeah.
We've got a nice toolbox of solutions for this. We got the glutathione LPT chewables, one of a kind, that gets, we see that blood levels of glutathione increase. That's your body's force field against viruses, but also invaders like cedar, in my opinion, as well.
Absolutely.
We've got our HistoShield that we put together that stops the body from making histamine. So we need your body to stop overreacting to cedar.
That stuff's good, Ray. That's good.
So this is what we want people to do: is let your body go. It's fine. Ignore that cedar pollen. We have nasal sprays that stop it from coming into the body. But it's so important that the cedar affects your adrenal glands and makes you very tired.
Yeah.
So it's really important to get started early, because if you wear down that battery, you're coming around the end of Christmas into New Year's and all the holiday season. We get hit really hard first week in January. So start now, cedar prevention, and check out our website, pdlabsrx.com, for some simple approaches to this and all the other things we talked about today.
Absolutely. I love it. That HistoShield really is wonderful. So is the glutathione. Driving back from Lubbock, went to a tech game, and driving back through the hill country, those trees are loaded. They are no longer green. They are orange, and it is coming. So we do.
No, please
and cedar too is interesting. It's an interesting molecule. Even if you don't have a true allergy, like if you were to test and not allergic to it, it is such a large, very irritating. The shape of it and how it's made is very irritating. So just those high counts are so irritating that people have symptoms of allergies when they're not really allergic. So it really does affect everybody. And you mentioned cedar fever, so that high adrenal output and the fatigue and the overproduction of the histamine and all. It really does make people very ill. So you don't have to be allergic. I don't know if people know that, but that is it's a nasty molecule.
Don't suffer.
Right.
Get started now, and we've got. We've gone through this before. That's a good thing. Is it a virus? Is it cedar?
Right.
What is it?
We know now. It's cedar.
We figured out how to decode it. How's that sound?
Absolutely. Well, Ray, we have hit the end of the show. Thank you. This was a great show. Lots of great information. So as always, I appreciate you.
Yeah, check out our website, pdlabsrx.com, if we can help you out, okay?
You got it.